Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So Module 25 launches tomorrow, March the 28th, and we have the patch notes for it. All of what the devs consider the major changes with the update. So let's dive into the patch notes. First of all, you have some feature highlights. So we'll be getting a new campaign and adventure zone, Mensa Berenzin. Further details on this link. There'll be the new trial, Xemnid's Reliquary, more details there as well. Some companion updates, which we'll cover just in a sec. Some mount updates, and then a new lockbox with a new battle pass, and then there's some known issues. Now with the companion updates, they have made a blog post going over kind of very roughly what they changed with the companions, right? A few changes with the powers, how they're working. Some quick ones I would take note of is Angel of Protection being able to provide defense to nearby allies. The Dread Warrior having his Siphon Strike affecting all allies, boosting their power. The doubling of Elminster's shield strength. The bonus of the Honey Badger providing less and penalties less depending on the high and low HP values. And the Kuatua will only be affected by 2% per play instead of 5%. And then your Paranoid Delusions, significant adjustments there, like improving the melee arcs, rebalancing them to be multi-target, rebalancing them to be single target, and then these ones being balanced to be like hybrid, a mix of AoE and single target. The Siege Master basically will be able to provide 3% to your teammates. That's basically a new power. And to be honest, that's about it. We've got to, of course, see exactly what damage values they're outputting. And I've been hard at work with that. Like, you can have a quick look at this document here. I'm still working on it, and I'll make a video when I finally finish. But you've got all these different companions. We've got their DPS over here. That's the combat advantage rank. That's their name. And I also want to fill in here, like, what's their main role? They multi-target, they single target, and then over here I want to add in like a value for their big damage AoE hit that they would do within, let's say, 5 seconds of a fight, or within 10 seconds at least. I'm still not sure on what I'll do for there. And yeah, so we've got these damage values and everything, and just keep an eye out for that video that I'll post going over these, and we'll dive into a bit more what changes they've made as well. You can read through here yourselves. We'll see what rankings they're standing on. Ultimately, they've completely butchered AoE companions. They'll do very little damage in this next module, so anything like you've had with Regis, Mystagogue, Succubus, any of those, all completely butchered, doing very little damage in AoE nowadays. And yeah, so known issues. You can see there'll be a button for random vanity pet. You can see that right here. You click random and it doesn't work because it's not actually working. It's a feature they're wanting to implement, but it's going to be temporarily removed. And then in PlayStation, the new storefront pack is currently not available in the PS Store. So dive into the release notes with content and environment. Bunch of achievements changed there, moved over to the legacy section. Campaigns and adventure, Elemental Evil and Ravenloft, just some updates there, just quality of life, having this guy spawn correctly. In Demogorgon, Imposing Gaze, which is the stack where you take increased damage for the tanks, will no longer be cleansable. It was never intended to be so. Then they increase some HP and damage in the master version, and Black Portals won't cleanse Grisro's rage. In future events, they had the Dungeon Master, just a quick fix there. In the Jubilee, they're removing the guy from being in the Stronghold, apparently. In the Siege of Neverwinter, they're fixing a bug there with display. Then we have combat and powers. So in the April Fowls dungeon, just an update with regards to Sneaky Scratcher and the Balk daily, causing 0 damage. Then you can see a bunch of the companions. This is kind of a rough TLDR of what they wanted to achieve. So a bunch of AoE companions that could only hit 5 guys can now hit 10 plus guys, and many companions with small melee arcs have been like improved. Potency of companion heal powers has been substantially increased. I'm going to have to check that. Many of the companions with self-target heal powers will now stand closer to their summoner to basically increase the odds they actually hit them with their heals. And then 20% damage increase overall to the majority of companions. And then there's still some known issues, like they don't have all the companions updated. They expect to do a whole bunch more. Again, there is that second blog post just here where they cover like some of the details on those companions. Yeah, some heal and shield powers are only used after their target has taken a certain amount of damage. They want to adjust this, and yeah, more specifics in that link. Now with the enchantments, combat enchantments, very interestingly, they've changed flash freeze. Well, it was applying on a 100% chance, should have been 10%. So they're changing and fixing that, but they're going to increase it to a 20% chance now, and the duration to 8 seconds, I believe, instead of just 4 seconds. That is a good improvement in my opinion. I mean, it should never have had a 100% proc rate, because then it just made it, like the best option hands down, right? So you had your flash freeze, here it is, it's been updated, 20% chance, and will last for 8 seconds. So should still be feasible to get those stacks up, and otherwise they have adjusted fortified nature as well. In my opinion, it kind of makes it overpowered, fortified nature. Just have a look at this. They've changed it so now it gives 3% per stack. That's 5 stacks, that's 15% for your defense awareness and deflect, and the stacks will no longer expire. So you can have 100% uptime of 15% to your defense, awareness, and deflect. That's pretty significant, if I do say so. And not having it expiring, yes, you still have to get like hit once per every second, and the stacks only last 3 seconds, so they can expire pretty easily if you're not in a fight where you take damage over time. Again, it will be depending on exactly what content you're running, but definitely makes fortified nature a much more viable option. With mounts, they've changed so that the Pegasus and the armored Pegasus, the grand and magnificent inspiration, were never intended to stack, and they're not going to stack anymore. Oh dear. Gonna have to go back to that video and update it. So your legendary and mythic Pegasus won't stack anymore. Your fallen angel wings will now properly modify ruthless efficiency and explosive equalizer. The legendary balloons will no longer grant double its damage bonus, and then the rabbit hole will now properly be not affecting guys who are supposed to be CC immune. Bunch of other changes here. Juma moved over to the new zone, but he won't be stuffing your inventory full of abyssal chickens anymore. Good riddance. The rejuvenation potions, they've been rebalanced to be more competitive with healing potions, and they should benefit from the same boons. That is interesting. That's not something I've checked. Let's have a look. Potion of Rejuvenation will now heal you for 374,000 hit points over 12 seconds versus the Potion of Healing 312,000. So yeah, it will heal you overall for more, but it'll be healing you over time rather than instantly. I guess there's some scenarios where that might be useful, but generally your healer will be healing you over time, and you won't really need that. You just need a clutch heal to survive, let's say, another big hit if you took one, or to not get finished off by some silly ad after you get pretty low. And then basically those potions will be available in stores, and they will now display max rank potions at level 20. Now they've changed this again. Unbind tokens can no longer be used on the Jewel of North and Neverwinter Standard. They've done that before and changed it back again, and then now are changing it again. So I guess you could make use of unbinding them now before Module 25 comes around. Otherwise, a bunch of collection changes there. These items basically weren't giving you collection points. They now should. Genie gifts, you'll be able to use them in the Descent into Avernus campaign. That's pretty neat now. It's a legacy campaign right here, Descent into Avernus. You can spend those genie gifts to get those family crests. That'll get you that campaign progress. Otherwise, April fowls, the bird seeds, basically no longer be sold for copper. You could have an exploit there, kind of. And then legacy campaign, heroic missions, used current standard percentage based on completion requirements. These effective missions will now be reset because of this change. They apologize for the inconvenience. The Northdark reaches, the Dark Maiden gear can once again be purchased from the store. That hopefully goes along with the key, because there was some bug there where you were able to get to like the progress on the campaign, which was 200, and then you still weren't being able to buy the key you weren't being able to buy like your other items. Hopefully that gets fixed with this. A bunch of changes with PvP. Basically, they've made certain items that cost glory to be more accessible. The banners no longer require battlefield artifact seals to unlock. Let me have a look at that. Over in the Adventurers Guild PvP vendor right here, and he should be able to give us artifacts. Yes, we can buy them directly with glory now. So we can get our Vanguard's banner, increasing everybody's power, crit avoidance, and foes will take basically more damage, and that lasts for 30 seconds. You get the Tactician's banner as well, and then you can also get the Defender's banner. That is really good. The Vanguard's banner probably was pretty expensive because it was very exclusive to obtain that. Well, now it'll be available. And then with Rage of Bell, basically the charge needed for your adamantine amulets can go from basically 20% to 50% per day. So you'll be able to get that done much quicker. That's like ranking up your amulet to get basically the Forger's box upgraded, because you need like the mythic boxes to buy it to get the legendary rod. Anyway, the hit points and damage of the Bell's warlords has been reduced. That's like the bosses that you spawn with the insurgencies, and Bell warlords will now always spawn. And then the chance that the rods used to upgrade the Forger's box from their various locations has been increased, so they'll drop more often. With regards to your seals, basically you had a bunch of seals traders and they were allowing you to view equipment for other classes. This option will no longer be available because all the seals gear is supposed to be bound on pickup. It sucks, I hate it, but yeah, apparently that's what they want to do moving forward. In the Zen Market, we shall be getting some new 4-slot insignia mounts. And then all the non-event 3-slot insignia mounts are being removed from the store. Interesting. Yeah, many of them you could already obtain like through the auction house for vastly cheaper. Good riddance. And just beware, if you're on PlayStation, then people who purchased like the Astral Diva pack can now claim that Astral Diva pack from the Zen Market. Bunch of user interface updates there you can see, but you've got some inventory updates, the bind status being added as a filter option. Very nice. You'll be able to go right here and select exactly what bound status you want, whether like jailbreaking ones or account bound ones or bound to character only. Those jailbreaking ones, those are the ones that you use unbind tokens on. You can see you'll have them having the orange unbound icon next to them. And then if you mail something between your characters, you can no longer delete the mail if it has something within it. Pretty good. Prevents players from accidentally deleting valuable items. Then with regards to the mounts, they basically made it so that they'll no longer display the message you may only have one of the unique item when acquiring multiple items. So that's like all these ones here. And that's, to be honest, is about it. Yeah, that's the patch notes for Module 25. Whole bunch of companion changes, a new campaign, a new battle pass, and then a bunch of new mounts you can obtain. And yeah, the new trial, which is, for me is the most exciting part. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys around. Bye for now.